Hey man, what's going on, man? This your boy Reezy Rome. Y'all locked in with me, man. New sports show on the way. We got so much material that we got to cover, man. NFL just started. We going in week 3. Hey man, it's looking good for my Patriots, but hey, we ain't gonna dwell on that. This is not a bias show. We going locked and loaded. I'm gonna give you straight facts. Man, Cowboys on the rise. We got a lot of teams we need to talk about, including some college teams. Man, y'all, this is going to be the best thing popping this fall, man. Y'all stay locked and loaded with your boy Reezy Rome. Don't you go nowhere. You hear me? Yo, first segment, man, we going to lock and load on our boy AB, man. It's been a up and down for my boy this upcoming off season and leading into the actual season. But I think overall, my boy will overcome everything he's going through and will be a Super Bowl champion at the end of the year. I say that because I just look at the player he is and the work that he's put in to be at the position that he's at in life. And I don't feel like nobody works harder than AB. I feel like he actually put in the work to be the player that he is. Him coming to New England has just made us that better. The AB I seen Sunday playing against Miami pretty much just picked up where he left off from. Now the accusations about the rape cases, they will be played out in court and whatever else that will get taken care of. We really can't speak on that right now because we don't really know all the facts and everything that's going into the investigation. It is an ongoing investigation, so we don't want to, really tally too much in that. But far as what I'm seeing a man that's not allowing the outside interfere with what he has going on the field. Now the things that I've been seeing all over the internet, all over the sports shows, talking about AB and the time with Pittsburgh and Oakland. Me personally, as Reezy Rome, on the outside looking in, I seen a man that was hurt. I seen a man that had been loyal to a teammate in Big Ben, loyal to a organization in the Steelers, and felt like Big Ben and the Steelers weren't there for him in his time and he wasn't loyal to him. And if you know, like I know, when you're loyal to someone and someone that you've been loyal to for so long actually shows you disloyalty, it puts you in a hard place where you don't know if this person is going to react smooth or act with rage. And I feel like with AB, that's exactly what it was. I feel like that year Big Ben threw 5 picks against Jacksonville, I can recall, and they asked Antonio Brown at the end of that game about that situation and Big Ben throwing those 5 picks because the analysts, if you all know, the media, they wanted to write Big Ben off at that moment. And AB stood beside him and said that they would get right and they would bounce back from that, and that was just, a bad game. But then you take Big Ben, when it was your time to do the same for AB, to just say, I threw a short, whatever it was, we'll get over that. That's just one game. Now, you want to say that AB didn't run a route right. He could have ran a deeper route. Pretty much you threw him under the bus. Then you want to compare that to saying about the Washington guy who was a actual rookie that year. Like, comparing a rookie to AB, an all-pro, is just total disrespect. And I felt like AB felt disrespected, and I felt like Big Ben wasn't being a leader, wasn't being a captain of the team, and pulling him to the side and them actually discussing and getting over their differences. Instead, he fed into the media. He stayed throwing him under the bus, and Antonio Brown just fed up with it and just said, bump it, I'm gonna leave. And he got himself out of there. He went to Oakland. Now everybody has taken and putting this man down for what he's done in Oakland, and I don't see a real big problem with what he did. Now, I know everybody like, what you talking about? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, he did have some issues. We're not gonna go against that. He had some issues over there that I felt like he could have went about a different route, but he didn't. You know what I'm saying? And that caused him, I feel like, to be going through what he's going through now. Because if you ask me, Antonio Brown do not do what he did in Oakland, I don't feel like he's going through that situation that he's going through with these accusations. No one would have came forward. And people probably saying, well, reason wrong, if he did this, then it was going to come about anyway. Well, that's where you're wrong, because I feel like he didn't do it. I feel like these ladies are chasing money, like he said. And I feel like once you put yourself in a position where you're going against billionaires, and you're going against people that own teams and are GMs of teams, you're going at the wrong people. And I feel like these people are in power. If they want to shut you down, they can shut you down. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, he's still on the Patriots team. He's still out there practicing. So this ongoing investigation with these ladies, we shall see how it plays out. But I'm loving what I'm seeing from AB. Had some great numbers with a touchdown with the Patriots on his first game against Miami. I think Brady and him look like they've been playing together for long enough. It's gonna be some great things happening in New England this year, and I'm predicting them boys to be back in the Super Bowl competing for their 7th championship this year. But we're gonna see how it plays out. But I do really wish the best for AB, and I hope he be able to make it out of that situation with those investigation going on with those rape cases. But for more than that, man, AB, just keep your head up, man. I'm rooting for you. Keep balling out on the field, big dog.
Check this out. Eli, one of the greats, one of the coldest in the city. Anyway, a little pushback on that, right?
Yes, sir.
Hearing what you said, the concern that I have is, number one, he had a number of incidents in Pittsburgh, right?
Right.
And then ultimately kind of forced his way out of Pittsburgh to get to Oakland, re-signed with Oakland. You know what I'm saying? He got there, signed with Oakland. Then we had a barrage of all kind of incidents that's coming out. Then, of course, we had a rape allegation, which is serious, but we'll wait till all the facts come out before we kind of weigh yay or nay on that one. But the newest incident in which young lady who's come out and pretty much said that AB kind of had a conversation with her, pretty much naked with a towel, that one. And then there's another one that he's all booed up with the sister not sister, but this young lady who's an Instagram model, who is also Le'Veon Bell's baby mom's. This is your ex-teammate, your boy, and you kicking it with your boy's baby moms. Like, to me, but to me, all of these things show aspects or flaws in his character, and that's my concern. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that he's a good guy or bad guy or whatever, but for him coming to your Patriots, how do you feel about all that's going on in your prognosis for him making it through this whole season?
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like he's gonna do good over there in New England, just off the atmosphere that he's coming to. Just like he knows, that anybody else in the world that follows football know that New England has built a reputation over there that they're not going to stand for, any foolishness. And if you come over there with the foolishness, then we're going to part our ways with you. And I think he has understood, what we expect of him. And I feel like he will come over there and not only play the full season, but have so much dedicated to what we have to offer this year. And I look for big things from him this year, and I think he's going to do good with Brady. I just think Sunday, what you seen was just a little taste of what you're going to see the rest of the year. And man, I mean,
it was the Dolphins, though.
Yeah, you're right. The Dolphins, which is the sorriest team in the league, I get it. But at the end of the day, Antonio Brown is still top 3 in the league to me, and I think he showed that. Not played week 1, really not been in practice or on the field for the preseason. To come in there, be game ready, game speed, it just says a lot about his character on the field, and just shows you his work ethic, and just shows you that he takes his job serious. And with that, then that's what I'm going by with his work ethic and what he's doing on the field for us. And the personal issues, we'll deal with them once we come across them. Like I said, right now there's just an ongoing investigation. We don't have full facts on that, so that's something we can't worry about. Right now we just got to worry about, is he showing up to practice on time? Is he getting in the game, making the plays? Is he studying his playbook? And so far he's doing everything he needs to do, and that's what we're gonna focus on. And I think he's doing a good job at all that.
Well, the Dolphins got a problem with Brown. The week before last, Hollywood Brown.
Man.
What he had, about 6 million yards.
And hey man, it's a coincidence that those boys are actually some kin to each other. So Miami did see two cousins back-to-back games, and back-to-back games they both light you up. It just says something, man. But Miami, I just feel like this is a tank year for them. I don't expect too much from them. This is one of those seasons where if you got Miami on your schedule, it's just like when we used to be in high school, when you go ahead and you look at the schedule for the season, or you look at the schedule as the season is going in, and you know those teams that you're gonna put that W by. Yeah, Miami one of those teams this year, man. When you see them on your schedule, you go ahead and write W across your column. Hey, man, but hopefully those guys can get it back together and tighten it back up, and make some things happen down there in Miami, man. Hey man, what's going on, man? This your boy Reezy Rome. Y'all locked in with me, man. New sports show on the way. We got so much material that we got to cover, man. NFL just started. We going in week 3. Hey man, it's looking good for my Patriots, but hey, we ain't gonna dwell on that. This is not a bias show. We going locked and loaded. I'm gonna give you straight facts. Man, Cowboys on the rise. We got a lot of teams we need to talk about, including some college teams. Man, y'all, this is going to be the best thing popping this fall, man. Y'all stay locked and loaded with your boy Reezy Rome. Don't you go nowhere. You hear me? Yeah, man, so week 2 popped off on a Thursday night. Bucks versus the Panthers. They visit the Panthers down there in Carolina. Great game. I feel like the Panthers had control of the game deep down in the stretch. Could have took control of the game and won, but I questioned the decision on the play calling at the end with the Christian McCaffrey play. Like I understood where they were coming from, but Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton, the size. I mean, me personally, I'm going Cam Newton in a quarterback sneak for an inch or 1 yard, and I felt like he could have got that. But that's what's the talk that has been about with Cam. Is he fully healthy? Is he injured? Because it's hard for me to believe you have a quarterback in Cam Newton who has known for, those little chump yards he can get done with his eyes closed, and you don't go that route. Instead, you try to, do some reverse call and, some, kind of trick play to throw off the Bucks, and they wasn't having it, and they end up, smushing that, and now you take a loss at home, a divisional game at that. So I want to see how that plays out, because that game may come and hunt them. But I look forward to seeing the Panthers bounce back. But if not, then the question is Cam Newton days numbered in Carolina? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't seen the same Cam Newton since Super Bowl when they played the Broncos. I'm sorry, and I'm looking forward to seeing that Cam arise again, because I know he got it in the tank, but he's not showing it. So at the end of the day, as the Carolina Panthers, they gonna have to do some soul searching, and they gonna have to bounce back, because it won't get no easier for them down the stretch. And they play the Arizona Cardinals this week in Arizona. So Arizona's a young, hot team who haven't won a game yet, but they have been in every game. They play tough. And if Carolina is not smooth with what they got going on coming into Arizona this week, I see them taking the L. So Carolina better tighten up, and we'll see how they tighten up and go forward throughout the year. Next, we had the Patriots against the Dolphins, which was a total beatdown. 43-0, controlled the whole game. Tom Brady looked just like Tom Brady of old. Nothing different. Antonio Brown added a more sharp edge to our offense. Sony Michel toting it like he normally do. And we played great defense. 2 pick sixes. One by Jamie Collins, one by Stephon Gilmore. Had a few more picks. And it was just a total beatdown, total control of the game, total dominance of the Patriots organization and the team. And I look forward to Patriots to only get better as the year comes throughout, because if you know Bill Belichick and you know the Patriots, the first couple games of the season is when they're trying to mix in and out their personnel to see who fits with who and who plays better with who. So I don't look for this team to really be rolling and really be in rhythm to late October, early November. But hey, that's scary for the NFL. So we look for big things with the New England Patriots. Keep balling. Next, we had the Cardinals and the Ravens, which was a great game, man. 23-17. I felt like the Cardinals had it. Got down in the red zone a few times and didn't capitalize on coming out with the touchdown, or even 3 for that matter. And the Ravens was able to hold that off. I've been seeing some great football with Lamar Jackson these last 2 weeks. Man, the dude's been phenomenal, man. I don't see him being stopped. That's tough to even control with speed on his legs, and now he's throwing it like better than ever. So that's going to be someone who's going to be really high in a MVP candidate this year. I see him doing great things. Also, it won't get no easier for him, because this week he got the Kansas City Chiefs, and I feel like Patrick Mahomes and that crew got something to say about it. But also, the Ravens going to have something to say about it too, because if you recall, they played last year, and Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill did this wild play on 4th down to take them on to win that game. But done me that the Ravens had every bit of right to win that game. So I think they're going to have that on their mind this upcoming week, and they're going to come out firing on all cylinders. So the Kansas City Chiefs can't take this game lightly. They can't go out there like they're playing the Raiders from last week. They're going to have to come in and be firing on all cylinders, because if not, then you expect Lamar Jackson to win that game and come out of there with the W. Also, we got the 49ers with the Bengals. Total dominance on the 49ers in 41-17. 49ers looking like the 49ers of old. I tell you, Garoppolo's firing on all cylinders. They're fast. Defense is flying around. Kyle Shanahan has that offense just looking like the Atlanta offense when they went to the Super Bowl. We don't want to get too far in it because it's just week 2, but I mean, man, when you're firing like that, when you're looking like that, it's hard to not think, what if, what could the 49ers be? So it's only high hopes for those guys. They went in Cincinnati, where it's not a easy place to play, coming way from the West Coast all the way over to the East Coast like that, which I can imagine was a long trip, and to put up 41 on that team. The 49ers is a team that's jumping up in the rankings, young fly team, flying all around on cylinders. I look forward to looking more into that team as the weeks come by, as this show continues to go on. I want to get more into those 49ers because they did look good, and Garoppolo is only going to get better. Kyle Shanahan is going to fit those running backs into his game plan, and it's just going to even get better. So we want to see where they go. High hopes for the 49ers in these upcoming weeks. Also, we had the Chargers and the Lions, which was a big shocker. I did look at that game all week, and I wanted to go with the Lions, but due to how they played the first week, I just didn't want to put my, all my faith into Matt Stafford. But they got the job done. Late touchdown pass, I believe it was, to Kenny Golladay, that took them over to beat the Chargers on 13-10. Came down to the wire. Kind of disappointed in the Chargers. I felt like with the team and the direction that they're going to be Super Bowl contenders, that should have been a game that they should have won on the road, but nevertheless they lost, and they're going to have to find some answers and bounce back. I look forward to seeing how the Lions take this and capitalize into the next weeks, because that was a big win against a good team on paper. Also, we got the Vikings and Packers. Packers won 21-16. I felt that the Vikings had this game, could have won this game, but I just felt like the problem was trying to make Kirk Cousins Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. We ain't denying that. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, when we ain't denying that. But when you got a back that can run for 1,000 yards every season easy, Dalvin Cook, you gotta feed that man. I felt like they didn't feed him in the first couple of series to get the juices flowing with the team. I felt like they was trying to put it more in the air and find yourself down 21-0. And so I felt like if you could have just put that ball into Dalvin Cook hands a little bit earlier, then it could have been a different ball game, a different outcome on the ball game. But I tell you what, Aaron Rodgers and those Green Bay Packers are now 2-0 undefeated. Looking like a great season for them. I want to see how they go about the rest of the season, but I look for good things in that Minnesota Vikings team. I love Dalvin Cook. I'm an FSU fan, and I think that guy, man, got what it takes to be an all-purpose back this year and to be, can be easily the offensive player of the year, can easily be the rusher of the league. But we want to see that, and I expect great things from him and that wide receiver core and those Minnesota Vikings. Also, we had a great game with the Jaguars and Texans that came down to the wire with 13-12 with Fournette and the Jaguars going for 2 and not being able to capitalize on that and got stopped at the 1 yard line. Texas won a closer, which was a great division game. Always be a tight game. I expect big things for those Texans moving forward. That was a big win after they a big loss to the New Orleans Saints that first week. And I'm talking about a hell of a game, the best game of the week, I think. And those Jaguars are still trying to figure it out. Nick Foles go down on the first game. You have this backup coming in now, looking pretty good. I mean, at first he was a little shaky, but he got in rhythm, and them boys was able to make a ball game. Now, during that game, there was a confrontation between Jalen Ramsey and Doug Marone, which I still don't know exactly what was said and the words that was exchanged, but all I know is since then, Jalen Ramsey has went on to say that he's requesting a trade. So we want to see how that plays out in the next few weeks and see where Jalen Ramsey, where he lands on what team coming up this season and who he can actually help out going forward into the rest of this season. We had a great game in Bills and Giants. Bills came in the first week and played the Jets in that stadium, MetLife. Came the next week, played the Giants in MetLife. So it was like they didn't have to leave. They could have just stayed in New York and just practiced there, because they had to play the same stadium twice. And it seemed like it helped them out because they came and got 2 wins on 2 teams that's upcoming. And I'm trying to look forward to seeing what the Bills got to offer. Young team, Josh Allen playing phenomenal, playing lights out, and we just want to see where they go with it. We had the Seahawks and Steelers, which was a crusher for your Steelers fans. Big Ben got out for the season with an elbow injury. Connor was hurt, but he's going to be okay to play week 3. But it was a game I thought Steelers could have won, and they allowed the injuries to take place, and the Seahawks found a way to rally back and win that game. A great game on the road for the Seahawks, who are 2-0, and you cannot sleep on them Seahawks. You know how Russell Wilson and that team does, so you better keep your eyes out on them. But that division with them Rams, and them 49ers is going to be a tough division this year. I look forward to seeing what all 3 of those teams got to offer later on in the season. We had a Cowboys and Redskins, which was a good game. Great game. Cowboys came out on top, 31-21. Zeke performed well. Dak performed well. Those Cowboys are on a rolling start. Could they finish out strong? We shall see. This is the normal Cowboys that they always do. So will they finish out strong? We shall see. The Redskins, 2 hard, big losses. Jump out on both games, week 1 and week 2, only to lose at the end. But I don't think I don't think you can just write the Redskins off. I think they will bounce back, and I think they will come out with a W this week as they play the Chicago Bears in Washington. We had the Chiefs and Raiders, which was a total dominance with the Chiefs. Raiders jumped out 10-0, and just when you thought that John Gruden and David Carr had figured it out, man, Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid came and took it over by storm. I don't think they scored any. Well, they didn't score anything else. It was 28-10. They didn't score another point after that. So that just shows you once the Kansas City Chiefs get kicking in the rhythm, it's over with, man. So we want to keep our eyes on them, Tyree Hill didn't even play, so we want to stay with them and see how they do in the upcoming season. They got a big game coming up this week against Baltimore. The Colts and Titans, I had the Colts going into this game. They proved me right, winning 19-7 on the road in Tennessee. I think people failing to realize that Andrew Luck has retired and we just want to write these folks off. These folks still got probably the best offensive line in the game. Jacoby Brissett is not no wash me down quarterback. He has proven himself. He has won some big games. And I think as long as you're Frank Reich and you understand the game, especially as you're a quarterback and you're not a head coach of this team, you know what your team is strong at, and you know it's that offensive line. So I think that what he's going to do with the game plan moving forward is just keep that ball on the ground. You know, if we do throw it, we want to keep Brissett here and there. We don't want to just have him putting the game into his hands, control the game, let our defense play, and let our offensive line block. And I think those Colts are going to be a lot more better than we thought they were since Andrew Luck retired. So I look forward to seeing what those Colts got to offer, and we just keep our eyes on them in the upcoming weeks. Saints and Rams, man, big game of the week, Drew Brees went down, tore a ligament in his thumb, be out for 6 weeks, had surgery early Monday morning. A game that I felt was a good game at first, and then the Rams just blew away with it. But I don't know what the league has against the Saints, but the referees failed to miss another call for those guys this week. Should have been a fumble 6 recovered by the Saints, end up being a dead ball, just giving them the actual ball right there at that yard line that they actually made the fumble, which I don't understand why the play was blown dead from the jump. But hey, I don't know what the Saints have done to the league, but the league ain't rocking with them right now. So hopefully they can manage out and weather the storm with these next 6 games that Drew Brees is going to be out. And hopefully they're sitting at a good spot when he comes back and they can make a playoff run. Because the Saints are just that much better when he's in the lineup. But I tell you what, they have a big game against Seattle this week that you can't sleep on, because I think we're going to see a lot better Teddy Bridgewater this week than we seen last week. But I mean, we'll only wait to see coming Sunday. So y'all stay locked in on that. We had a Sunday night game in the A-Man where we're locked and loaded right now. The Eagles came and played these boys, came on the road, came down to the wire, and ended out with a screen pass from Matt Ryan to Julio Jones, who took it all the way the distance, man. Great game. Yes, sir, man. Julio Jones, man. He did it, man. And Julio, we trust, man. I'm telling you, man, those boys was flying out. Hurt Alshon. I think they hurt Deshaun Jackson. Hurt a few folks from that Eagles team. So we want to keep up with those injuries this week. See if those guys will be able to bounce back and play this week. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Eagles have a big game coming up this week. And they're going to need those guys if they're thinking about winning that game. So we just want to keep our eyes locked on it, because there was some major injuries that we haven't went over that has happened in the last 2 weeks of the season. That's some big key pieces to team. Then we're going to end it off on the Monday night game, which was a total dominance with the Browns and the Jets. Total dominance for the Browns, who beat the Jets 23-3. Of course, they didn't have their quarterback in Sam Darnold because he's out with mono, which I didn't think still was a common thing to catch. But nevertheless, Sam Darnold has mono, and he's out indefinitely until further notice. So it seemed like last night Le'Veon Bell was the running back and the quarterback, because I seen a lot of Wildcat, and that was only going to get you so far. Odell Beckham had a big catch with one hand and a big touchdown catch. Myles Garrett was a total dominance last night with 3 sacks, 2 tackles for losses. Man, he was just all over the place, man. And the Browns just had total dominance. But I want to see how those Browns go about in the upcoming weeks with playing these better teams coming up, because last night showed me that Baker Mayfield struggled at reading defenses. I don't know if you noticed that, but he struggled at reading defenses. And last night, it should have been a lot of quick throws here and there that he missed because I don't know. I think it's a lot of work that needs to be done on that behalf with giving him structure and right to be a quarterback in NFL. So it's only high hopes for him, but that, we'll check into that and stay locked in that throughout the week. But I'm telling you, man, you here with your boy Reason Wrong, man, on Sports Talk, man. Stay locked and loaded, man. Don't you go nowhere, man. I'll be back. You hear me? Hey, man, what's going on, man? This your boy Reason Wrong. Y'all locked in with me, man. New sports show on the way. We got so much material that we got to cover, man. NFL just started. We going in week 3. Hey, man, it's looking good for my Patriots. But, hey, we ain't going to dwell on that. This is not a bias show. We going locked and loaded. I'm going to give you straight facts. Man, Cowboys on the rise. We got a lot of teams we need to talk about, including some college teams. Man, y'all, this is going to be the best thing popping this fall, man. Y'all stay locked and loaded with your boy Reason Wrong. Don't you go nowhere. You hear me? So this week, man, we got a big game coming up. We got the Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Notre Dame Irish.
Go Irish!
Now, for all you SEC fans out there, I'm ACC, I'm Florida State, you hear me? For all you fans out there, man, you know, I'm just a messenger. But what I heard through the grapevine, man, is that the SEC is overrated, man.
Yep.
Overrated, man.
Yep.
Notre Dame has a special message for the Georgia Bulldogs in the SEC. They feel like they're soft. They can't go full 4 quarters. They're not built like that. And they just talk a bunch of junk and don't back it up. So, SEC fans, SEC teams, what do you got to say about that? For years and years of college football, the SEC has been known as cream of the crop, right? And nobody ain't walking the same distance with the SEC. But hey, there's a lot of teams, a lot of conferences got something to say about them. Last year we seen Clemson beat Alabama.
Handily.
And I'm talking about
It wasn't even close.
it wasn't even close. And this is Alabama. You watched a couple years ago, a while back, my Florida State Seminoles went in there and beat Auburn for the national. You know what I'm saying? I remember this all goes back to Bob Stoops for the Oklahoma Sooners when he had to play Alabama. And he made that comment. The SEC was overrated. Now everybody at that moment thought Bob Stoops had done lost his mind. Only to see Bob Stoops go into that bowl game and not just beat Alabama. Drag them. So you gotta ask yourself, is the SEC really overrated?
I say this. Check this out. This is my take on
What you
it.
think, man?
I think when you start talking about SEC, what tends to happen is you have a ton of their teams that's ranked in the top 15. So they start the year off with probably 6-7 teams in the top 15.
Right.
The first 3 weeks of the season, 3 to 4 weeks, they play that non-conference schedule, which is Georgia State.
Yeah,
which
boo-boo
is
trash.
Southern.
Who Georgia State actually beat Tennessee.
Yeah, but that you see they schedule them to play. You know,
Paid them,
yeah,
what, almost $1 million to get beat?
to take that in. But what you see is you see these games, you see them taking on chunk competition.
Right.
And then if you really pay attention to the SEC has really been trash over the last 10 to 15 years. Typically they have 1 or 2 good teams, and those teams are really solid.
Right.
Really, really solid. So you'll have your Alabama, you might have your Georgia, or it may be Alabama,
LSU,
you might have your LSU.
or Auburn.
But the rest of them, if you go down, if I start naming off SEC teams, Missouri,
Get them out of there.
Tennessee,
Get them out of there.
Vanderbilt,
Get them out of there.
Florida, trash. Florida been trash.
They been trash, but they are undefeated now.
Yeah, but I mean,
They look like they getting back on track, but the last 7 that they've been trash. They've been
first
trash.
2 to 3 games they played.
They've been trash.
You know
They've
what I'm saying? Then also you got Texas. Texas A&M. They've been trash.
Trash.
You got Ole Miss. They've been trash. Auburn. They've been trash.
Yeah.
Every now and then they have a decent year, but they've been trash.
South Carolina
South
trash.
Carolina trash.
Arkansas trash.
And then you get to the bowl game and they get drugged every players
Absolutely.
up and down the field. But for some reason, because Alabama's in the conference or Georgia's in the conference, then people tend to say, oh, the SEC is mighty and powerful. No, they're not. They're not even good. When you saw every time you see a decent quarterback play an SEC team,
Absolutely.
no matter if it's a powerhouse, they dominate.
Right.
Sunshine, dominated.
Oh, yeah.
Watson,
Dominated.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can go down the list. Mayfield,
Dominated. Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying?
He did.
So if you look at their quarterbacks, if
He
you have
did.
a decent quarterback, you can easily beat the
SEC, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because typically they don't really have great quarterbacks. They usually have a stout running game that's based on inside the tackle. So if you can lock up that offensive line, then you have a chance of beating them because they're not going to score a lot typically unless they just start breaking off 60, 70-yard runs and then they look like world beaters. But that's why I think a lot of people, because if you think about it on the flip side, let's go ACC. Over the last 10 years, Florida State, they've been decent. They had they up and down, but they've been halfway decent.
Right.
Clemson, they've been dominating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You look at even UNC, which is typically not a football school, they've been looking good. Like, you can go up and down there and say 4 or 5 teams are really strong in the ACC.
Right.
Then you move to the Big Ten. Michigan, strong.
Right.
Wisconsin, strong. You got.
But I see those teams.
Ohio State.
Like, but see, if you ask me, I don't think those teams play anybody neither. And then when they do play somebody, and they have a chance to show you that, okay, this is what, like, okay, I give Ohio State their credit. When they played Alabama that year, they beat Alabama. When they had the boy Cordell Jones and they had Zeke, they beat them boys. You know, so they proved they mark. But I do think the competition of teams that they play at the beginning of the season to be trash.
They do. They play a week. Sometimes they play a week non-conference schedule. But where I kind of look at it is I look at the bowl game.
Yeah.
And typically, up and down the rest of the conferences, there's either a tie record. You know, they were 4-2.
Right.
They might have been 5-4 or something like that. The SEC typically has a record of like 2-7. But those usually it's like 4. They'll usually have 1 or 2 games where they have teams that win. And then you can chalk up Alabama for 1 or 2 wins in that bowl season. So there are a lot of hidden numbers. So when you do see that they ended the bowl season with a 5-7 record, really it's a 3-7 record because you had Alabama that won 2 games in the college football championship. So you're really looking at a 3-7 record. They've been getting dragged by other conferences, but for some reason, every year, just like this year, it started with 8 teams in the top, like 15 or 16. But as we go, you'll start to see them drop off. And they'll have they're usually in the season with like 3 to 4.
Right.
But there might be 1 or 2 at the top. You know what I'm saying? You might have your Georgia, Alabama between 1 and 5. But then the rest of the teams are terrible.
Right.
So
I absolutely
we're going to see this week.
Yeah, we're going to see this week. Can Georgia pull it off with Notre Dame? Because let Notre Dame tell it. Georgia is not like that. They're not built to go full 4 quarters. And he's calling them out, man. He says he has their number, and he's coming to knock them off. But me personally, I think Georgia prevails. I think they beat Notre Dame. I don't just think they beat them. I think they control and actually whoop them. So I know that's, big shoes to fill there, but I think Georgia gonna do it, man, and put a whooping on Notre Dame for just coming out of talking outside of their neck like that. But we shall see this Saturday at 8 o'clock, man, because it's going down. So if I don't know where you're gonna be, but you need to be locked in on that screen, because Georgia about to do some things, man, to Notre Dame. I just feel it, man. And that game is gonna separate the men from the boys, baby. So we're gonna see what's going on, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's been a pleasure, man. I'm thank you for the first show of the year. It's gonna be shows of many more, man. Y'all stay locked in, man. Every Wednesday, man, is going down right here, man, with your boy Reason Wrong Sports Talk, man. It's been a pleasure. The pleasure been mine. Salute, baby. Holla.